Well, it's happening. The balance patch from Guild Wars 2 is going to hit. The two big things that I heard about is that Power Conduit is going to take some hits. The changes to Perpetual Wisdom are expected to pretty much slam Power Conduit into the ground. It's only going to be useful as a boon support afterwards. At least that's the rumor on the street that I'm hearing, which is a bit sad because I haven't had time to mess around with Conduit yet, but it looked cool. The other huge deal that's happening is that Warrior is getting a huge nerf to its primary PvP weapon, the staff. Bullet Catcher was a really strong block that lasted a long time on Staff 5, and it actually makes me really sad because I'm not a Warrior main, but I did mess around on Warrior with all of the legendaries that I have, and I actually did kind of decent. And so they just basically took that away from me. So the build that I have on my Warrior for World vs. World probably makes him dead on arrival now. That's the big news for Guild Wars 2 this week. And next week we're going to see Fractal Rush start. It's a good time to get into Fractals and see how far you can push your Fractal level and Agony Resistance, or even just earn extra rewards. And usually there's like a trinket or an accessory or something that comes with an infusion. So if you're still trying to work your way up the fractal levels, it's a good thing to be involved in. And then in WoW news, the two major things that are happening is that Season 3 ends in a little over a week. And something kind of dirty about the way that it's happening is that lemix and Season 3 end are happening at the same time. Now that being said, the Season 3 end really only matters in terms of like achievements, but the two main mounts from the raid you can still earn up until the release of the expansion, if I am seeing this correctly. So right here it says that the Twilight Oath's end, which is basically, it's like the AOTC mount. You have to defeat the Dimensius on heroic or higher. That will no longer be earnable on March 2nd. So the Royal Voidwing is not going to be earnable after March 2nd, but you can still earn it between the end of Season 3 until then. And it also says that the drop rate for the Unbound Star Eater, which is the mythic, the special mythic mount, will decrease significantly with Midnight Launch. As a more casual gamer, the interesting thing that I learned is that it's actually pretty tractable to get these if you have a decent gold farm game going. If you don't have a group or whatever, it might be hard outside of buying a carry. It was a very game-changing thing for me in BFA when I learned that I could do that. And I really, really wanted the Water Elemental mount from Battle of Desire Lore. But even when I was doing well in the raids, the guilds running it were just absolute jerks and they would kick me. I remember defeating Opulence. I was the last guy standing, and they still kicked me when we got to Mechatorque. And I was so pissed, because this was like, it was between Season 2 when Battle of Desire Lore launched and the end of the expansion, so we were well overpowered. Why you wouldn't keep the guy who helped you keep going, I don't know. Ultimate toxicity on the WoW community's part. But after that, I felt done, and I was relieved when I figured out I could just use gold to get it. It's not as exciting, though, that's for sure. But if you really like this mount, I would say go for it. I would imagine it would go great with a Demon Hunter or a Shadow Priest, maybe a Warlock. Those are like the big ones, I think, that match the Cosmic Shadow theme the most. The thing I don't like about the Twilight Oath end, the AOTC mount, is it almost looks exactly like the BFA AOTC mount from the final raid in BFA. Like, it has extra armor. Otherwise, it looks the same, from the picture anyway. So yeah, I might be tempted to spend gold to get one or both of these, actually. We'll see. Actually, if you pay for the mythic mount, you will get this one too, because I'm pretty sure the final boss will drop the item for it. So, and then the other thing going on is the end of lemix, which is where I will be spending most of my time. And there's still some things I have to do. Things have calmed down enough with Guild Wars with the end of Winter's Day that I can focus on trying to get anything and everything I can with my remaining time out of Legion Remix. I'm still working on Winter's Day activity videos. We'll see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoy it, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to distract. But at least it made my wife giggle. So she thinks it's funny. She doesn't play Guild Wars. It makes, so maybe you guys will find it funny. I'm still working on it. That's the news for the next couple of weeks in WoW and Guild Wars 2. I hope this was useful.